Hello, everyone. My name is Aiden Chaco, and welcome to my TED Talk on why we forget. So, I want you to think about a time when you studied really hard for a test, but completely blanked on the material during the exam. Or maybe you walk into a room and immediately forget why you went there. Why does this happen? Well, today I'm going to talk about forgetting, and a natural, fascinating part of how our brain works. So let's go into what even is forgetting. Forgetting is not just a sign of bad memory, but psychologists describe it as forgetting the failure to remember information that was previously encoded and stored in your brain. There are several reasons why this happens. One is encoding failure, storage decay, and retrieval failure. So let's start with encoding failure. This happens when information never fully enters your long-term memory. For example, think about this dime right here I have. Now you've seen one of these thousands of times, but if I asked you to draw it, could you remember the president's face fully to maximum degree? No, I bet you couldn't. And most people can't because we never really paid attention to the details. Now, that is what encoding failure is, just not fully remembering the entire details of what we learned. Okay, now that you know what encoding failure is, let's talk about storage decay. So, when information is encoded into your brain, memories can fade over time. This can happen with anything. Think of your farthest memories. They're pretty fuzzy, right? Well, psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus, studied this and created the famous forgetting curve, which shows that we lose information quickly at first and then more slowly over time. Basically, if you don't review what you learn, it starts to disappear. Think about that vocabulary list or the multiplication table you learned from 3rd grade. If you never practice them, your brain slowly lets them go. Like, I can't do the multiplication like I could in 3rd grade, which is kind of sad, but also kind of true. My brain has slowly let those memories go, and that's what storage decay is. Finally, there's retrieval failure. Sometimes the memory is there, but we just can't fully access it. You've probably experienced the tip of the tongue phenomenon, where a word or name was right on the edge of your memory, but you just can't seem to know what the word or phrase that you're looking for is. Later it pops into your mind, but in the moment you couldn't remember, and this shows that the memory was stored there all along. This is an example of what retrieval failure is. So now that you know the 3 main types, let's talk about a less known one called motivated forgetting. Forgetting can also happen because of interference. Proactive interference occurs when old information blocks new information, and retroactive interference happens when new information blocks out old. There's also motivated forgetting, wherein we push away painful or unwanted memories. This is very common in people who have gone through harsh times, and motivated forgetting is a way that we forcefully push memories out of our brain. This can also be a helpful feature, letting go of things that won't serve us well. So maybe it's good for you too. From a faith perspective, forgetting can actually be a gift. Isaiah 43:18 says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past." Sometimes God designed our mind to release what no longer helps us, allowing us to focus on what matters. Forgetting is not a flaw, but it is a natural way our brain organizes and prioritizes information. This is really helpful, and it's a really unique way God created us. So next time you forget something, remember it is part of being human. Our brains are filtering, organizing, and clearing space for new information. Forgetting is not failure, but it is a sign of complex and a beautifully designed mind that God thought of from the beginning of time. With review, practice, and awareness, you can remember what truly matters. Thank you for listening.